Then I said Jamadar, Jamadar. Usually the ayn is swallowed. So I said, oh, Jam' dar. So Jam' means to gather, and dar means a house. So usually the Jamadar comes to clean the house and put things together. So this is where we got it. So we have origin with Islam. This is the problem where we have disconnection. We need to actually reconnect. Clean out the garbage, clean out everything, put nice soil on top that is not infected, and then you can grow from there. But it has to be, make connection with your kids. Mothers and fathers who have not done that, you need to do that now. You need to do that now. Sisters, you haven't talked to your mothers for a while, you need to do that. You haven't talked to your father, you need to do that. You need to, it's not cool not to talk to your parents. So, very, very important, inshallah.
I don't want to do questions because I don't know anything, but I think I know the answer to this one, so inshallah it's okay. I got a question that says, do you find it difficult to avoid alcohol in the corporate environment? It is kind of hard to avoid. How do you do it without losing connection with your friends? Honestly, we have to have high standards for ourselves, and we got to be straight up. And really, in Canada, they respect that. I grew up part of my life in the U.S. and in the U.S. there's a lot. It's very strong. Like, you got to become. It's like a melting pot. You don't want to be like us. Come on, you got to be like us. Canada is not like that, and they start to respect you when you put your foot down on something. And when I got married, I got my wife a job, and I was living in Ottawa at the government. And I said, okay, I just got married, and it's, I really like her. It's too hard for me to go to work. Okay, so I'm gonna take her with me. Right? So I got her a job, and she was sitting right next to me, and it made me gain like 30 pounds because she kept giving me food. But we set the rules, right? And people respect that. And believe it or not, people will not say that would have never swore in front of my wife, because they would say she looks like a nun. How could we do anything indecent in front of her? They say that. Really, they say that. Right? So. And you put the rules down. And alcohol is really hard to avoid in the corporate environment. Whoever wrote this question is right. Because whenever there's a social function, they have alcohol. Whenever they want to go out, they're like, okay, we got to get rid of stress. What are we going to do? Let's go to the bar. Okay, that's what they do, right? Friday happy hour. I don't know if you guys are all young, you don't know. But that's what they do. But you put your foot down, and they start to ask you questions, and you explain. And, I ask them, they go, you don't have to drink, just come with us. Right? You don't have to drink, just come with us. I wouldn't even go. I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm like, you guys want to, we'll go bowling or something. And you go to a pool hall or a bar, I'm not coming. I'm like, straight up. They go, why? They start to ask you questions. And you have an opportunity now. That's an open door for you. Because you don't want to go to work. It's not like school. School you can go and you can be like, everybody come, I'm talking about Islam now. That's what we did in college, right? A lot of people, alhamdulillah, became Muslim, right? You get a speaker, go in the area where there's a lot of people and just start talking about Islam. You can't do that at work, they'll fire you. Right? At work, you have to act the way that they come to you and ask you questions. So this is a perfect opportunity. They want to invite you to go to a bar? No, why don't you want to come? I don't drink. Yeah, but you don't have to drink, just come with us. And then I asked them, I go, would you go out with a bunch of people that are doing cocaine? Right? And they're like, of course not. Well, why not? Because cocaine is like drugs. And I'm like, well, you don't have to do it, just go hang out with them. Yeah, but it's drugs. And I'm like, well, I'll call this drugs for us. It's the same thing, it alters the state of your mind. And then they're like, oh, wow. They never thought of it that way. And people come to me, and believe it or not, people send me emails at work, and I'll give one example. It's this Italian kid, right? He's a DJ, and he's working there. He's DJ part-time, and he's working there. And he's like, what's time? 2 minutes, right? And he's like, he sent me an email, and he goes, look, I feel really dumb to ask you this, but you're the only religious person I know, and my girlfriend just dumped me, and and he wrote this long email, like, talking about it. I need to talk to God, and I need you just to pray for me and talk to God for me, because I know God doesn't like me because I'm an idiot, right? They say it straight up, they know. He goes, I believe in God, but I know God doesn't like me. I never go to church, I never do anything, I do anything I want, I don't care about God, and now I need God, so can you talk to God for me? And bam, what is that? It's an opportunity for da'wah. I'm like, no, man, talk to God yourself here. There's a guy at work, he's an older guy, like hardcore French, He's a good guy though. He's a big guy, jolly guy. He's like in his 50s, and it was Christmas time, and he was so sad, right? And I'm the only person he comes to talk to, right? Because he knows everybody else is gonna just joke around and just this and talk about this and that, whatever. And he goes, look, I'm so sad. And I'm like, why? It's your holiday, you should be happy, you know? At least you don't have to come to work. He goes, all my family, my parents are divorced. This guy's 45, 50. He goes, I'm divorced twice, and my parents are divorced, and I don't see my sister. And this is the problem here, right? But when you act in a certain way, they'll come to you and they'll talk to you, and bam, it's an opportunity, right? The next couple of days was his birthday. I went to Chapters. I got Islam for Dummies. They have a book, right? And I'm not saying like, yeah, we don't really celebrate, but it was an opportunity for me to give it to him. I'm like, here, his name was Dan. I'm like, here, Dan. He's like, yeah. So he took it and he read it and and I gave it to him privately because I didn't want people to see me doing it, right? And then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on here, converting in the workplace. Right? But he put it on his desk and people came and asked and he goes, yes. He goes, my best friend Ali, he gave me this for my birthday. Right? And you start to have an impact on people. And I remember there was a guy I was working, Johnny. This guy fasted Ramadan with me. Right? And this guy's not Muslim. He's like, let's go out to eat. I'm like, no, it's Ramadan, I'm not eating. He's like, what? And I started explaining to him, and he goes, why do you do it? I'm like, because we have to control ourselves, right? So if you say no to food and drink, then you can control your anger, you can do what you want to do, your body doesn't dictate to you. You tell your body what to do. And he goes, wow. And I'm like, you know what? You're fake, you can't even do it. You're a punk, man, you can't do it. You're too weak. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. He did it, right? He did it. He fasted, and that was a way for him to understand, right? So that's that, inshallah. I hope it answers the question. And the last part about losing connection with your friends. If your friends want those type of connections, right? If your friends want if that's a connection, then they're not worth being your friends. Last thing, we got these. Back in the days when I was in LA, we used to go on the walls with the spray cans, and then when the cops come to you, that's bad. Don't do that, right? These guys, they did it for real, right? It's nice. They put it on a shirt, right? Minna Toronto. Inshallah, we'll have Minna Montreal, right? We'll take T-shirts, right? They're $8, and then there's other ones colored for $10. They're raising money. Get the T-shirts. They're hype. It's graffiti styles, and just don't do it on the wall. Do it on the shirts.